is Radio Zero with Rick and Rose, Friday, May 1st, 2026. Oh, Poster Children is live.
We're live streaming on Facebook on the Radio Zero page and on the Poster Children page, on Twitch at PCJC USA, and on the Poster Children YouTube channel. You can subscribe to the podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podcast, Pocket Casts. You can go to radiozero.us. You can patronize us at patreon.com/radiozero. Thanks to all our patrons. I forgot to test this. There's something going on with your mic is more heavily compressed for some reason and louder than mine.
Yeah.
And
is there a setting on it?
Yes, but I
mean on the mic itself.
Like, no.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Maybe because it's pink. God. What? So yeah, did you see? All right, I'm going to release it a little bit there. It's so easy with a mic stand to just be like, and strip it. Okay, is it better? Or
no, I'm not going to be able to.
Oh, you're not going to be able to fix it
while we're running live. I can't go into the control panel. I don't think so, and change the settings.
No, because then all of a sudden it'll be whatever it's called. I can't remember now. Echoed. We're both like exhausted, right? You were asleep when I came home. Or
I wasn't.
I woke you up.
I was awake, and I drove our kid to work.
Oh, that's true.
Everything like that. I laid down a few minutes ago and took a short nap, but I wasn't asleep when you got home.
Okay, no, that's right. You were tired enough to fall asleep for a short nap. Is what I meant. And usually you're just awake all day, aren't you?
That's true.
Well, all right. Well, I'm glad to be with you here. Sorry we weren't here last. I had to turn off live captions here. Now it's not going away, the thingy. Sorry. What? Why weren't we here last week? I forgot. I'm sure.
Oh, I don't know. Let me look on the calendar.
No, I don't do that.
I'm trying to remember. You went to Chicago.
Oh yeah. Okay, we could talk about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to Chicago for the speaker unveiling, right? Yeah, so I got to go once again to Martin Atkins Post-Punk and Industrial Museum of Post-Punk and Industrial Music, which like if you haven't been there, you're a dork. You should go there. It's so wonderful. It's like inspirational. And I'm not even like a huge like Skinny Puppy fan or anything like that. Like I'm not like the thing is when I hear that kind of music, oh, see, now I have to read. Okay. Oh, Tim Bowers is home. That's good. I'm glad you're home. Where's home, though, Tim? Okay. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh, when I hear industrial music, I'm like, oh, yeah, I like that. Right? That's industrial music, right?
No.
A little bit more pounding than that.
I think that's electronic music.
Oh, yeah.
Electronica.
What's industrial music? So that's when. So that's like got not compression. What is that called? The fuzz, right?
Yeah, I guess there's more distortion.
Distortion, that's the word. Yeah. So.
Oh, this is gonna drive me crazy. But go ahead, keep talking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's not you.
Do you want to switch microphones?
Nope.
Okay, it is my mic though.
Nope.
Okay. Well, So some of our students, I guess we wrote a grant. We supported by Illinois State University School of Creative Technologies. We wrote a grant for some materials, and I noticed, like students will use materials to make like projects and stuff, right? And then after they're done, they'll get, they'll be laying around because the students can't bring them home, or they're done. They're so finished with. We finished this, or it's a big collaborative project, so it can't really go home to one person's house, right? That's probably another thing that happens, right? People work on big collaborative projects and then they just sit around. And so I thought, like, well, maybe, our students make speakers all the time, and Aaron, our colleague Aaron's got like the greatest, like he makes these amazing speaker builds, right? It literally sounds like the voices and the sounds are like sitting right in front of your face. Like you could reach out and touch them, right? Am I right in saying that? It's not my imagination, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of perception of audio, right? Yeah, is in your brain.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So if your brain is working properly, or semi properly at least, you're like it feels like the sounds are just coming right out at you. It's real. I've never heard speakers like that. And most people anybody who comes in to hear those speakers say that too. Yeah, I've never heard speakers like that. So our students built speakers, and then instead of just leaving them sitting in a room somewhere where we can be like, oh look, we students build these speakers. Here's the fourth set of speakers students have built. We installed them in the museum, in Martin Atkins Museum, because there's music to be listened to there. And Martin always talks about, he's got fantastic, like he's got demo tapes and all kinds of stuff, like from like historical things, and people are still giving him all this cool stuff, right? So he plays that. People come visit the museum and they listen to this stuff in the basement, in the studio. And so now there's speakers there there are these speakers there for him that our students built for people to listen to stuff on, and they sound incredible. So I was at the unveiling. I see Danny Ingram says Martin is a peach. Can't wait to visit. It's so true. It's so true. And so we had the unveiling of the speakers, and I feel like I saw people like crying a little bit, like because it's really beautiful. They sound fantastic. And then they Martin played he curated like a great list of songs for people to listen to.
Like what?
God damn it, I knew you were going to fucking ask me that.
Sorry.
Like Skinny Puppy and Nine Inch Nail, demos and stuff. There was a Nine Inch Nail, like a Trent Reznor demo tape.
Oh yeah, he's got
Yeah, he's got all that stuff, right? Does he have like the Fugazi the Fugazi stuff that was recorded by Steve Albini now is released.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that a record store day thing finally, or I can't remember.
That was a letters
right,
charity thing.
Okay.
But yeah, but anyway, he's got, we listened to some stuff. Like what do you remember hearing in the studio in the museum?
You mean like at a different time?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had some demos. He had did he have the stuff? Yeah, the original demos for what became that Killing Joke record that he's on. Like just him and Jordy playing drums. Him playing drums and Jordy playing guitar at Steve's house. But it was Steve's studio when he had the big board. That's when the Fugazi record too was like Steve moved from his smaller like tape setup to a larger mixer and I think larger tape machine, and then that was moved in the attic. And so, but yeah, he had demos of the original, which I think was just Martin and Jordy working on music together. It wasn't meant to be a Killing Joke record, but it turned into that Killing Joke record.
Wait, is that then there's Martin playing with Ja Wobble too, right?
Yeah,
do you remember hearing that?
Different.
Yeah, he played that too. That's just amazing. Like just work like, and now I can't remember who else was on that too. I'm not good at this.
You have to get a Ja Wobble Ovation bass. It's that Ja Wobble bass sound. It's like they're like the heaviest basses in the universe, and then the neck has the kind of like what is that called? Not knurl. What is the roll thing like on a cello?
Like a scroll?
It has
oh,
a
that's
scroll.
cool.
It's
Wait,
like this giant log.
It's not an open like a open bass, right?
No,
okay,
no,
it's
not
heavy.
not semi or
It couldn't be.
acoustic. It's very it's like a slab of, I can't remember, but it's like it's some very heavy wood.
Yeah, there's no way it's heavier than that frickin' Travis Bean.
Electric Ovation guitars are,
They're really heavy.
well, they're awful, I think. And if also the guy, what's his name from Wire, would play what was it called? The bread cutter? What was it called? Breadwinner? It's a crazy axe-looking one.
What does Ja Wobble's bass sound like?
It just sounds like bass. He's got the super low end, not a lot of high end. Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like, is it like wookie?
yeah. Oh no, yeah, it's super woofy.
Yeah.
I mean, like on that Public Image Limited. Well, I mean, I guess he's on a few of the Public Image, but when I think of his bass, a lot, yeah, he started getting that sound. What on second edition Metal Box?
Yeah. Well, so he played that stuff. We got I'm not good at remembering, and also I was there with my sister and her husband too. We're like they got to meet Martin earlier than that and talk about my nephew and like his work at their studio in Los Angeles, and Martin was talking about just how to make it in the music industry to them, so that Martin's just full of like really cool ideas about have to wear many different hats and stuff. And then we toured the Airbnb upstairs too, right? So there's an Airbnb upstairs at the Museum of Post-Punk and Industrial Music, and I don't think you've ever been up there. I've been up there now. It's giant.
Saw the back room. So it was different because there was the Airbnb in the main level before?
Yeah, that was the back room. Yeah, it's not now.
Okay.
I don't think
they renovated the upstairs.
Oh my God, yeah, the upstairs is fantastic. So there's at least, I think there's 3 bedrooms in there, like for people to and then there's all the great coffee, and then there's the soap and stuff, and then Bob Weston's bass, like in one of the rooms just set up, there's a drum set, and Bob Weston's bass rig is there.
Not in the Airbnb.
In the Airbnb.
Oh, in the Airbnb,
yeah.
Oh, okay, so but there's still the drum set in the museum.
Oh, you know what? The drum set was not on the stage.
Okay.
So I wonder if he moved
set
it
up
upstairs.
in the Airbnb.
Yeah. That's a good call. Yeah. I wonder if it's still there. Like, yeah, he had like, he had stuff set up to play, like a computer setup so he could play songs through the speakers. But it was really wonderful, and there's a big screen there, and it had a thank you to all the students and their names and stuff. And when we pulled up, you could see the screen from outside, like the door was open. Students could see their names from outside the museum. It was so cool. It was really, really neat, And Martin's just such a fantastic guy. So that's what I was doing instead of talking on Radio Zero here with you.
So quit your complaining, people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was hanging out with Martin Atkins, and then we drove right back. Right, I had to drive right back, and then I had to do something else the next day, and I can't remember what it was. It's just been a whirlwind of stuff, right?
For you, yeah.
For all of us, yeah. And then you had yesterday. Your students had their giant CTK showcase. So, do you want to talk about some of the projects that happened there?
Yeah, and it wasn't my student showcase. They had stuff in the showcase.
Yeah, but so what did you see there? Like, I don't know if you wanted to talk about that. I can complain about not getting geese tickets too for about an hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. See, now I'm gonna have to remember everybody's project now. That
pretend you're walking in. Sorry.
So there was a sort of live audio narrative, so kind of like a old school radio performance. A group of students put together a radio play with actors and sound effects and some visuals, and they had a live performance of that. And then there were a couple of interactive things, an audio only video game. So you wear headphones and you kind of navigate through these different spaces. And, well, spoiler alert, you wind up dying, but it's like kind of like a series of environments, and it's like it's science fiction-y or kind of post-apocalyptic, and there's a lab and all sorts of sounds and radio transmissions, and you're kind of walking through trying to find your way through the space and get to the end. So that was really cool. A sort of remix. It's sort of like an instructional web-based system for learning how to do mixing with stems. So basically like a educational, I wouldn't call it a game, but like an educational interface thing where you you pick a drum loop, and then you pick a keyboard loop and a guitar loop, and you put them together, and then you can adjust the speed and tempo, and then mix it and record it and get a little finished mix of your stems. So it's teaching stems, kind of, basically.
A stem is like a phrase of music.
You should have gone through the game, or the
I did
the
go.
thing. Oh, did you?
I did.
So
yeah.
Did it not teach you what stems are?
Well, I want to make sure that I have it right. Like it's like a little phrase of music, like 4 bars or something.
No, it's in well, no. In like when you're mixing, it's like kind of like groups or something. So like you might have all the drums, in a kind of stereo mix, and then all like the bass. Usually, like if I don't do stems. I mean, I do grouping and I mix things in groups. I start doing that, but like if you sometimes people will send out chunks of their sort of tracks, like sort of submixes, I guess. So you'd have like drum stems, you have your bass stems, you'd have your guitar stems, your vocal stems, right? It'd be kind of like a groups of stereo submixes, right? That then somebody could use to mix a final version, which I don't understand. I mean, that's the thing, is like maybe other people use stems for like I'll use stems like if I whenever I had like I did my looping thing and I had backing tracks, I'd have stems. So it would be like, I'd have a kick drum track, and then the drums, the rest of the drums left and right, and then I'd have a keyboard track, right? So layers, right, that you can then mix together.
So a stem is maybe like it could be a bunch of tracks together.
Yeah.
It is a stem. Oh, and then I realized that, in that game, like something could have been 4 bars, and something else could have been like 16 bars.
So that's the thing. In this kind of interface game, interactive sort of educational thing, they were loops. I mean, they were short loops, like little riffs that they put together, and then you could switch out different. It was more kind of like it was more like looping, I guess, in a way, but the idea was to teach you, about mixing different layers.
Yeah, it was really neat. Yeah, I did play that one. I'm trying to think of what I was just gonna say.
And then there was the documentary, so like a 20-minute documentary about creative technologies, and then also they had done a series of shorts with individual interviews. So that was that, and then a music, sort of a short concept album, EP. So was it 5 or 6 songs? This group of students put together a sort of narrative, and so they each wrote a song for this kind of concept, around this concept, this story, and had it put together as a full piece, and then, with transitional music and a little bit of video too.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Hello, Dannon. Dannon says greetings. So that's fantastic. And then there was other stuff too. There were games, right? Like from probably game design. There was all kinds of research posters up all over the place too. People had
grad students.
Yeah, grad students and the undergrads. Like undergrads doing research projects too.
Were there?
Yeah, Charlie was there.
He had his poster up?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, his like somebody studying like music and what is it called? Oh God, I can't think of it. Like rebellion, but not rebellion, right? Like activism, music and activism, and they had zines and stuff like that. So all kinds of just great stuff. And then there were some drawings to illustration, like little illustrators alley, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
some portfolios.
Yeah. So this is good. It's good that students had a way to show off their stuff. That's nice. Now I was just trying to think of. So now onto my fucking geese tickets that I can't buy. No, I'm just kidding. What else? There was something else I wanted to say about students too. I can't remember. We can talk about this. I just taught my last music business class, and music business students are so fantastic. They're incredible. And I'm saying a lot now, aren't I? For the second semester of this class, I just told them, yeah, you guys got to do something that you can write about on your resume. That was it. Like, do something that translates to a thing on your resume, because no one's going to, when you're going for a job interview, they're not going to be like, oh, I see you got an A in Music 175. How did you do on Chapter 15 test? Did you like that one? That one's about, venues. No one's going to ask that, right? They're going to be like, well, what else did you do? I see you've got a 3.5 GPA, but what have you done? Why should I hire you? What other stuff have you done?
So that's the thing, is that the projects that were in the showcase were collaborative projects, so group projects, and we have a collaborative, what is it called now? Collaborative Project Studio course, where the idea is that you're working in a team to build a project, and then it's going to have some sort of public presentation. But it's that idea of learning, not just project management, but learning how to work in a team, but then also exactly the situation with the interviews, where it's like almost universal question is have you ever worked in a team? What were your experiences?
Yeah.
How do you work?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
What role? And
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
and it's like, yeah. So at least hopefully the students know that, oh yeah, I worked in this. We did this collaborative project and then this and that, and then it was like, oh, I was kind of the de facto team leader, and then the other people did this and that, and we got it all done finally and got it presented by the deadline, and it's like a pathway for people to talk about. I mean, it's not the only intention of doing the collaborative class, but it's is to give you fodder for your interviews, but it's super important, and that's kind of always been the thing, we've talked about, is like, very few people get to work completely independently, and like creatives too. It's like even artists, right? Like you're a famous gallery artist, and it's like, oh yeah, you're just sitting in your studio by yourself, and you create your work, and it magically shows up in the world's galleries, right? No, it's like you're probably working collaboratively, working with a team. So a lot of times, a lot of high-end artists are, well, most of them, right, have teams of people, building, making,
their giant
artwork.
boxes.
They're giant balloon animals.
Yeah.
It's like there's no
Yeah.
way, or companies. There are companies that do, for sculpture and these high end things. It's like the full companies that do the fabrication of the artwork.
Yeah. Well, so this
everybody. I mean, it's like your whole life you're going to be working in teams
on projects with due dates. Right.
Whether that's building an app or having a child, right?
Oh wait,
like,
what?
I'm saying everything. Like
you
almost,
and I had a child together.
Exactly.
2 children.
Everything. Everything is kind of collaborative, project based.
You are really,
work.
You got a really good. You got a good thing here. You're like Rick Valentin on collaboration. Everything is collaboration, whether you're building an app or having a child. It all requires collaboration and know-how to talk to your partners. It's good. You could go on the interview circuit.
Yeah, I don't think it's a particularly original thought.
But collaboration, whether it's building apps or building children or having a child. I think that's I'd never heard that before, but maybe you didn't make it up. But so my class, my music business class, that didn't do so well. Those were not seniors though. Like some of them are like, there's freshmen and sophomores in there. Like nobody's graduating. So I had them at the beginning of this, like they had to tell me, like they had to give like 20 different proposals. They all sat together and brainstormed on proposals. What could we do? With the resources that we have? So a lot of them come up with, we can do a podcast on conducting, or we could do we're going to do interviews of people that we know who are semi-famous in hip hop. I'm trying to think of some other things that people did. We're gonna make a multi genre album because all of us are into different things. So we're going to work together for the first time because we've never worked together. So there was a couple of, we're going to make an album togethers. There was a couple of podcasts. We're going to do podcasts, a series of podcasts.
The kids are into podcasts still?
Kids are, yeah, I don't know.
Or are they just...
Yeah, are they into TikToks?
No, but yeah, like
podcast,
you say TikTok, it's like poison. You actually said TikTok to one of the groups in my project class, and you almost killed them.
If you say 6, 7 to them too, they fall over.
No, I don't mean laughing. I mean like TikTok is like poisonous.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like,
they don't like it.
You should just make this content for TikTok, and it was just like,
So they don't like podcasts either?
No,
what do
they don't
want?
like TikTok is what I'm
okay.
saying.
All right,
you say
all right.
TikTok, and it's like very few of our students are into TikTok.
I'm trying to remember what some of the other projects were. Though one of them, one group I forced to fill in. There was a display case in the Center for Visual Arts that's just been empty forever, and I was like, you guys are gonna decorate that thing. And I gave him a whole like list of what, go look around at all the other display cases on campus and see which ones are good, and do, think about, go on Pinterest and look at that and stuff like that. So we had and then they had like, when they had to propose the project, so you had me come in and like talk, like listen to your students do like a proposal decks. And I think
decks,
that, pitch decks, that was really great. I didn't have anybody do that for mine. What I had was they had to write what could go wrong. They had to give me a timeline, and they had to give me after they brainstormed, they had to decide. They were just brainstorming stuff, not even that they might want to do, just stuff that a college group of college kids could do. So that they generated like probably about 40 different ideas, and then they got to look at them all and decide which ones they wanted to work on. And then when they figured out what they wanted to work on, that's when they had to figure out, what's my timeline, and then they had to talk to me about what realistically they could do, and and what could go wrong, and that. So and I think I probably didn't follow up with them midway through the process. Like I always do forget to do that. Like I always forget how I probably did. We probably did have a day where we were going around, and most people said, some people said, oh, well, we're right on track. We've already got 2 of the 5 podcasts that we want to do. We're right on track. We know exactly how this is the song list on the album. We're right on track. These are the 5 people we want to interview, and we've already contacted them and stuff like that. So that was good. So just this week, though, we had the final presentations that, did you succeed? And so many of them were like, well, we were going to do 10 interviews, but we only got 1 done.
Well, yeah, that's
we procrastinated.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what happens. I mean,
yeah.
but well, yeah, I mean, you gotta keep them on schedule. And that's the thing, or, check in frequently, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, hello, Joe. Joe Christmas is hello. Sorry.
And then you have to have, there has to be some sort of high stakes thing where it's like, oh, just turn in the assignment at the end, or tell us that you did something.
Yeah, or tell us why it didn't work and stuff. And so that's
enough.
what's missing.
That's not,
Yeah.
You got to have a real sort of deliverable.
Yeah, so what I came up with, after the fact, of course, and I probably came up with this, like I did this like a couple of years ago. I had this same assignment, and it turned out really cool. There was like a lot of cool projects that were generated by it. But what I did, what I came up with was, next time I'll have them write a contract to me, and it'll be like, okay, we're gonna do 5 podcasts. Okay, if you complete 5 podcasts and they're up where you say they're gonna be, then you're gonna get an A. If you complete 4 of them, you're gonna get a B on the project. If you complete, and they decide. If we only complete 2 of them, then we're going to get a D. They decide what it is.
Yeah.
Like they decide the contract. And then since it's a music business class, or any kind of entrepreneurship class is it's good for them to write contracts anyway,
Yeah, I mean, and so having a contract, I mean, I've been involved in a few project-based classes, less like regular classes, more kind of like not independent studies, but yeah, group sort of smaller groups, but like larger scale projects with the kind of contract. But yeah, breaking it down then to grading too, I don't know about that, but yeah, it's just having a contract.
I mean, I that, and then my TA said, not only could you have a contract, but then you have, and I've heard this too, like you have everybody say what they're going to do in the contract too, like, so everybody's got their contract is also with their group, like, I'm going to be the person who records this podcast.
Yeah, so that's more what you're that it's kind of a blend of not just kind of like a project sort of contract where it's kind of like the goals and outline of what expectations, like deliverable, all that kind of stuff. You're that it's expanding more into a teaching contract, or what do they call it, learning contract, where at the beginning of the semester you negotiate with the students, or everybody sort of negotiates the structure and goals of the class, and what the grades are and who's going to do what, I guess. That to me, that's a little more expansive, where you're making it a learning contract.
But so I can already see problems with this, right? So let's say a group of 5 people is doing 5 podcasts, and they're all each going to take one podcast, and if they only accomplish 4 podcasts, then they're going to get a B.
Yeah, and so this is the thing, is like, so in my mind with these long-term projects, semester-long projects, it's like that's part of it, where it's like, oh yeah, you plan this bigger thing, and then as you're working through it, the scope reduces, and it's kind of like that's part of the process, or something goes wrong, or somebody doesn't carry their weight, which
right.
I mean, and that's the stuff that always happens, and
Correct.
It's like, and I have to talk to the students all the time. It's like, oh, this person's not doing anything and everything like that, and it's like, yeah, I understand and everything like that, but it's like, oh, this is a great learning opportunity, a teaching moment, because it's like, that's what happens, is like there's never been, well, in fact, actually what was odd is the radio play folks, they did their first sort of performance a couple of weeks ago, and everything went perfectly, like they got into the space, got everything set up. The actors had rehearsed maybe twice before, and then they there was a lighting board in the space, and one of the students had used that lighting board in high school, so they were able to program a whole thing before the show, and then they did the show, and everything went off without a hitch, like maybe like little two or 3 little, and I was just like, I mean, that's really great, but it's like, I kind of feel like that you haven't learned anything, because, and I was like, don't rely on this ever happening again. It's
I
like
heard that.
anytime,
I actually heard that they said, Professor Rick said that this should have failed, and it didn't. And
I didn't say it should have failed.
Yeah,
but
but we said we didn't learn anything. Like that's what they told me like last week. Yeah, he was seemed upset that everything went so well.
Okay, that seems extreme. So I feel like I said it. I said it in a positive.
Yeah, they said it in a positive way too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It wasn't like I was saying you didn't learn anything because everything went fine. But it's like things go wrong. And that's part of putting on a show or whatever. Right. Is like, oh, being able to adapt at the last minute, something goes wrong, and it's like, oh, and you need to be kind of flexible.
So what happened last night then?
It went pretty good.
Okay, they still didn't.
I mean, they prepared it. They had. There were some more glitches because it was like second performance, and there was a different actor in one of the roles, and so like given the credits, they were a little different than the scripted. Like I think that they just had their old scripts.
So but all right. So my question to you is that if let's say we do the thing, let's say I do this next year, and then five people, 5 podcasts. One of them doesn't do it. So I guess this is pretty obvious. Like, and this has happened. Yeah, do you like on Canvas? everybody's in a group for me, and I only grade one.
You
do
gotta
you grade
you gotta do
individually?
both.
Oh,
You have every
oh,
week I had group grade, and then they were doing individual status
every
reports.
week you had
Well,
status
for
report. Oh,
check-ins and
yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
like individual status report, and then
yeah.
I check in with the group, and so
Wow.
there's split, and then the final assignment or whatever is out, which is self evaluation and peer review. So everybody's gonna be sort of reviewing what they did
Mm-hmm.
within the group and their work, but then they're also going to be evaluating or at least commenting on the other members of the group. And so
Are you giving individual?
and then
group individual
so
grades?
there's the
Yeah.
group grade, the
Yeah.
group final grade, and then there's also the individual
I
final
didn't even think of
grade.
that, like
You
having
know,
both.
yeah, you split
Duh.
it. It's basically 50-50 for the whole course. It's
Ugh.
like you've got so somebody who's working in a group, right? They're not doing anything, but they're going to get 5 points for the group grade, but then on the individual side they're going to get 0 points, right? So it's
Yeah.
or vice versa, right?
Right.
Well, no, you can't. I guess it's hard to get vice versa.
Yeah,
where it's-
probably.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of
Did
a
you have-
situation where somebody would get a 0 for their group grade and then a 5 out of 5 for their individual grade.
I could
How
think
would
of
that-
somebody like there was somebody in the venue the entire time, maybe even longer than anybody else, who I don't think is in any of these classes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so they would have a 0 because they're not their project. They don't even have a
Well,
project.
they're not. Yeah, they're not being graded.
Yeah, but
on
they're
it. They're not in the
yeah,
class.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
yeah.
But so that person could get 5 points.
That's
individual
all
points.
the extra stuff. So again, it's like our job interview or your history. It's like somebody
Right.
says to you or me, I'm looking for somebody to
Do
to
sound
work-
design.
Yeah, to do sound design, and then it's like probably the first student that would come to mind would be the one that's not just doing good work in class, but then is also
Yeah, that's
doing
that's the 5
work
points.
outside of class, showing up
Right.
at other events, doing sound design voluntarily for it's like so that's how you get credit, I guess, for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. So, the individual. I mean, that's a lot of. That's hard to grade. That's. Do you see that you'll have? Will you have a wide range of grades in that class, like
No,
A's, B's, C's, D's, and F's, or
no,
will it be mostly A's and F's?
no. I don't remember actually,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna be crunching all the numbers.
Mhm.
Well, no, the final sort of self-review and peer review is due by next Friday.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be crunching the final grades until the next weekend.
Well, it was quite an impressive show.
Overall, yeah. I mean, it was not just my students' stuff, but
Yeah.
lots of our students' work.
And
So,
then
yeah.
our music business organization put on a show, they put on this incredible show last weekend at the Student Center, and there were 6 bands. And again, that same individual was there running sound for everything. But there were both hip hop and rock bands interspersed, and everybody was just really supportive. It was like everything you could dream of. It's like everything we learned, we taught. Be supportive of each other. Watch each other's shows and stuff. We say that stuff. I don't know who's listening to that, but these kids just are either naturally doing it or they're actually listening to us and learning from I guess it's okay to do that. There was a parents' table in the back, how there's a kids' table at Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
There was a parents' table in the back, way in the back of the room, and the parents were parents were so proud of their kids. And I stood with the parents because they wanted me to come too. They wanted an actual teacher to come.
Mhm.
That's crazy. But it was so good. Their kids jumping all over the place, and it was just fantastic.
Are you the advisor for the?
I am the advisor
Okay,
for that.
yeah, so
Yeah. So what's terrifying is half those kids are going to be in the music business class next year. So hopefully I'll have something to teach them, but they've already put on a show. So hopefully they'll listen to me. Hopefully I'll have something to teach them. That's all I can say. I think what I'm going to do next year also is I did this one year. I had like genre, what is it called? Genre experts. So if you're expert in classical music, then when we talk about, ticket sales, I want you to talk about how what it's like to offer tickets for classical music.
Are you talking about students who are genre experts? Oh, not guests.
Yeah, no, not guests. No, students. So like we're talking about venues, and then I want you to tell, the hip hop people are going to have to tell me where hip hop people can perform, where some entry level hip hop, people will perform, and where's the big places and stuff like that. So, I got to implement that somehow in the class, so we hear from every genre, because then people can't go, oh, you didn't talk about this, or you didn't talk about that. It's no, we're all going to talk about it. We're all going to learn about it. Also, when I came into this class, I think the second semester, I think somebody had, or there was you have to bring in a current event. Have you ever done the bring in a current event? You may have taught that, no?
No.
But if you ask people to bring in a current event and just talk about it for 5 minutes at the beginning of a class.
I mean, I have students presenting, a website or a video at the beginning of every class. I mean, I do the present stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. So, all right. Well, let me close out of this here. So
basically, you experienced this week for the first time trying to buy tickets online as opposed to going to the Ticketron outlet at the local. What would it be? Lord and Taylor? I'm trying to remember where the Ticketron. There was a Ticketron.
Musicland, right?
Musicland, but
it was. I think maybe Lord and Taylor.
No, yeah, there was one in Oak Brook, and it was in the mall, but outdoor mall, but like one of the stores. God, I can't remember. Wasn't Lord and Taylor. It was one of those two names.
Was it Sears?
Maybe it was Lord and Taylor.
I think it was Lord and Taylor. I think you're right.
I bought the time I got front row Talking Heads tickets. That was at. Ooh, where was it? Like a Venture somewhere?
Yeah, I was going to say Venture.
Or like, I'm trying to remember the mall that was not, yes. So there was a mall more towards the east in the western suburbs, which I'd never been to.
Oh.
But it was, the Ticketron was over there.
Oh, yes, of course.
And we went, it was amazing. I'll tell my Talking Heads story. It was amazing because it was, what was it? It was like right at the end of the spring, I think. It must have been, was it 83 or 84? I don't know. But like, I was already a huge Talking Heads fan, and Speaking in Tongues either was about to come out or had just come out, but like Burning Down the House wasn't a hit yet. But my friend and I went to the Ticketron outlet early, like 7 a.m, to wait in line to get tickets for Talking Heads.
Did it look just like an ATM machine, or did you go inside of it?
No, it was a counter.
Okay,
right. It was always just a counter somewhere,
like a car
store with
car rentals
with a I guess probably with a computer, like a cash register. There must have been a computer, right? Yeah, because it was called Ticketron, right? They got bought by Ticketmaster later, but Ticketron was. Yeah, it was like, I think it was, special, like a special station. Like, to me, in my mind, it was like a lotto or like a lottery. Like when, and do they still have this? Like where you go to the convenience store? Yeah, right. And you buy a lotto ticket from this. You're not typing into, it's not like a vending machine. It's like the person behind the counter is typing in stuff into it and then giving you your lotto ticket, right? It was like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But anyways, we went there really early, and there was no line. There was one guy sitting in his car with the windows down. I feel like his feet were hanging out, and he was listening to Adrian Belew's Lone Rhino. Probably on 8-track. I don't know if it was on 8-track. This was
what
a
year?
Little past.
What year?
I think it's 83. Was it 83?
Okay, all right. So you were a sophomore.
No.
In
It might have been my senior year.
or senior year. Yeah. Sorry.
Anyways, yeah, this is like one guy, listening to an Adrian Belew record, and then the doors opened and we walked in. That guy got a ticket, and then my friend and I bought
Which friend?
tickets. Chris.
Okay.
And I was a little disappointed because it was like C1 and C2.
I know
were the
this story.
seats, right?
Yeah.
Or was it triple?
You
Oh, it
thought-
was like triple
Yeah.
C.
Yeah. But and you
Triple C1 and triple
Right.
C2.
you thought you had front row seats,
No,
and you were like,
I thought
oh,
I
C.
had. No, I didn't think I had front row seats. I thought, oh, triple C, that's going to be way in the back or something. And so, had these tickets, and then so you'd buy them, right? You'd have to go somewhere, get the tickets. They'd print them out, and then you have to wait like 3, 4, 5, 6 months. I don't know. It was a long time. We waited. It might have been 83. Yeah, it might have been my junior year. And then, the show came around, and we had our tickets, and we went. Oh, and by that time, Burning Down the House had hit and everything like that. And we got our tickets, and then we go to, it was Poplar Creek, right? Poplar Creek? Yeah. And then, gave them to the ushers, and they walked us down, and then they walked us down and down and down, and then we went past row A. And then there were 3 tiny rows right up in the front.
With
I think
tiny
it was
seats.
Yeah, it was
No.
like triple A, triple B, and triple C.
Oh my God! And how much did these tickets cost you? Like $12?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And then saddest. Oh, that's what it was. It was like triple A, triple B, and triple C. It was like left, center, right, and we were front row, right, like the
Wow.
right on the aisle.
Were there
So
other people sitting next to you?
There's like 2 or 3 other seats. It was like where you have the little tiny
Yeah.
row,
Yeah.
right? And so right in front of what's his name? The guitar player from Brothers Johnson who was on that tour. Yeah, it wasn't called the Stop Making Sense tour. It was called it was the Speaking in Tongues tour. I don't think they called it. It was called Stop Making Sense. The movie of that tour was called Stop Making Sense, but Adrian Belew was not in the band. Just the guy who was waiting for tickets was listening to Adrian Belew. So no. The guy who was the guitarist was Brothers Johnson. So the lineup, the tour that's in Stop Making Sense, right? Alex Weir, thank you, Josh. So we were right in front of Alex Weir. It was amazing. Super close.
Yeah, that's so cool. Was it loud? Which Chris?
Tall Chris.
Oh, okay.
He was at our wedding.
Okay.
I think that might have been the last time I saw him.
Yeah.
That's my Ticketron story.
Yeah, Ticketron. So my
the other thing was
yeah. I like when you get that excited.
So
That's good.
they played Burning Down the House during the show, and then it ends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like in the movie. But then there's an encore. People are yelling and everything like that.
Oh, they played it
They
again,
came
didn't
out,
they?
and then they played another version of Burning Down the House. It was a little more
God.
electric.
Yeah.
Like David Byrne, instead of playing acoustic
Yeah.
at the beginning, he played electric. But it was like they didn't have any more songs, right? They hadn't rehearsed anymore. That was that fully, rehearsed thing with, them coming out individually and the set changes and the screen, everything you see in the movie.
Kind of feel like watching the movie again.
Yeah. I've got it. I've got the what do I have now? The
Jonathan Demme.
HD.
Who did that movie?
Yeah, Jonathan Demme. Those were that's from the
Why do I know that?
three LA shows
Oh.
at the end of that tour. So this would have been the Chicago show. So I think they went from New York around the country, and then the LA. I think the LA shows might have been the end of the tour.
So
But it was basically that show.
yeah, Joshua Vaughn is saying fellow Talking Heads geek.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
yeah,
So I did not get
totally-
to see Talking Heads with Adrian Belew, which I'm sad about. But I would have been 14, 13, 12 on that.
You would have been
tour.
you would have been in a band then.
No.
No. I mean, you would have been you would have been changed forever. You would have been a rock star. Oh wait,
I think I may have. So that was the thing with Talking Heads. It is actually interesting. There were a couple things where I learned about. I mean, obviously, Once in a Lifetime was kind of like, it wasn't a huge hit, but it was kind of more known. But I I knew about it because they were on the Robert Klein radio hour or something. This is like Robert Klein had a radio show, and I think he just interview bands, or no, I think he interviewed all sorts of people, but he interviewed Talking Heads when Remain in Light came out. So that I would have been was that 12 or 13 when I heard that, and I heard Once in a Lifetime. I was like, oh my God, that song's amazing, and I didn't know the name of it, and so but I knew the song had water in it, the words water, and so when I went to Beautiful Day Records to find Talking Heads records, a Talking Heads record, I'm looking through, and I basically bought, over the course of a couple of months, every Talking Heads record that had a song with the word water in it. Well, I think it was like, oh, I got no more songs, or songs about buildings and food. More songs about buildings and food, because that had Take Me to the River. I was like, oh, that must have been the song.
Yeah,
and then I got that record, and then I listened to it, and I was like, oh no, oh wow, Take Me to the River. I remember hearing that on WLS. Like, jeez. WLS played for a little while, played like new wave hits before they finally gave up and went to talk radio. But like,
but you actually heard "Let the Water Hold Me Up."
Yeah, it was when the record came out.
I mean, I didn't know those words until this year. like I had to look them up again.
But it took me. I just kept buying records, and then finally, I think I didn't buy Remain in Light because it looked weird. Like, but it took me a while. But I wound up getting the first four. That would have been Remain in Light was the fourth record, right? So I wound up, I basically got the first three records and then finally bought Remain in Light, and I was like, oh, finally found the song. Because there's no other way to...
Yeah, you couldn't go to ChatGPT and go, what's the song, what's the Geese song where they do this? Woo!
Yeah. And although I could have just asked the guy at the record store at the counter, but there was no way I was going to do that. I just,
What is the matter with you men?
Well, I was like 14 going to a record store, and they're terrifying.
I guess people are
terrified. It always smelled funny, too. The record store smelled funny.
Like pot?
Well, I know that now.
Oh, okay.
But it was like, boy, this record store smells really weird.
Danny Ingram says he saw them in D.C. in early 78. Chris Franz's brother played in a D.C. band called Urban... I can't see the last word here. Urban what?
I'd have to go into the control panel here to see it. Urban Verbs.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I didn't get to see
because you didn't live in D.C. But yeah.
No, they played Chicago all the time, but I
Yeah.
wasn't old enough. I
old
couldn't.
enough.
And what was the first show I saw? Like, I saw shows with my family, but like, I think it was Peter Gabriel, right around that year,
time, like around 78.
Yeah, Danny's even older than me.
You saw, oh boy.
No, Peter Gabriel I saw in '83. Also, that was the Shock the Monkey tour, and I believe that tour was called Shock the Monkey.
Shock the Monkey.
And that was interesting because I think that was the first big show I saw that I bought tickets myself and went with friends, and the Peter Gabriel one, he came out.
He says he's old.
Yeah, he came out. Peter Gabriel came out before the opening band, and everybody's cheering. And he was like, and I've looked it up before, and it's not on any of the shows lists, but it's like he basically said, this is a band I really like. They're really great. I want you to give them your attention and be polite to them. So it was basically, and all I remember about the band is it was, frickin' new wave, right? And so
what band was it?
I don't know. I don't remember.
My God. Somebody's got to.
I can't find it. No,
crowdsource that. You looked everywhere.
Shows lists.
Damn. It was in Chicago though.
At the UIC or what was it still called Circle Campus? The UIC.
That's
auditorium.
Crazy that's not written down somewhere.
I'll look again, but like there was somebody who was hitting like a 40-gallon oil drum,
What year again?
83. I think. And yeah, but it was like, and looking back now, it was like, oh, this band, people were like crucifying this band, when they were opening, and so he had to come out.
Yeah, I love that story.
Yeah, he had to come out.
Did you say 1983?
I think so. Maybe it was 82. Actually, it might have been 82.
Okay. Well, this is a ChatGPT hallucination, I'm guessing. Or you're going to kill yourself. For Peter Gabriel's 1983 Securities Shock the Monkey era tour, the opening act for the Chicago date at the Rosemont Horizon.
It was before that.
Okay.
So that's the
because that was
they
Laurie
looped-
Anderson.
Yeah, no, I would have remembered
Before
that.
I know.
That looped around. So that's the thing is there was the first tour, Peter Gabriel. Yeah, and so he played in Chicago at the, what was it called? What's the UIC Pavilion? Was that is it still called that? I saw him there, and I think I saw the Kinks there.
You're saying before this, ChatGPT says it was the Call. So, but that
it
was
did not
also
seem like the Call.
no.
I
That was also at
familiar
the
with
Rosemont
Call.
Horizon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was smaller show. That year, so I saw Peter Gabriel, and then I saw the Who at the Rosemont Horizon, but I did not see the Who with the Clash. So I missed that. And now I can't remember who opened for the Who on that first Rosemont Horizon. So again, it was like a loop, and so the Clash were like opening for the Who on that full tour, but like the earlier leg of the tour, it was somebody else.
It does. It says the early '80s UIC Pavilion had a lot of new wave, art rock, and college radio bands.
It certainly did.
Yeah. Well, okay. So
maybe the Kinks wasn't there.
Oh, and Andy Larson says Setlist FM says the band was called Electric Guitars.
Oh, okay. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Apparently.
Because I thought I looked at maybe I looked at what's the other set list site. Yeah. Okay. I'll check that out.
Good.
Yeah.
Because
the thing is they were super weird new wavy kind of band, but I don't feel like I don't feel like they
never made it.
It wasn't like
never
Kaja
made it out.
Gugu or anything, like where it's like all of a sudden they had a hit.
Wow.
Modern English.
And so now speaking, Modern English. So speaking,
I saw them last
you
summer.
Saw the Modern English.
Modern English opened for Simple Minds last summer. It was Modern English, Tainted Love. What's their names? Soft Cell. Modern English, Soft Cell. God, there was a third 80s band, and then Simple Minds.
So am I crazy to like Geese? I just want to know. Like, is there something wrong with me?
Let's go back to your experience trying to.
No, I'm enjoying this better because I don't know why I'm like I need. So if I want to see a band, usually they're not sold out. First of all,
yeah.
If I want to see a band, and then second of all, like I'm gonna call up the band and say, hey, put me on the guest list. I mean, that's all. Like it's I'm Rose.
So yeah,
it's usually a friend of mine's band, and I pay the ticket to get in anyway because I'm not an asshole anymore. Like, and but if it's very expensive, then I'm very lucky to. Or I call up the club owner and I say, hey, can you let my kid get into this show? And then I feel like I owe them my firstborn or something like that. Yeah. But for this, so this is like a real. So our child had like some kind of secret code because he put his name into a Geese fan club website. So you had to write "killed geese" or something.
That's how I got my Simple Minds tickets, though. Yeah, it's.
Was that sold out too?
No, but it was like you could do the pre-sale usually.
Yeah,
it's never anything. Well, there might be super pre-sales, but like just pre-sale, like if you just sign up to the band's mailing list.
So first of all, it was like I looked up, how much are the tickets going to cost? Because we were talking about we want to go see Geese, so they're playing at Lollapalooza. We're not going to go to Lollapalooza. Actually, we probably could get into maybe I don't even know if we could get into that.
I don't think so.
Even if we fucking played it, we played it.
Not since it's been owned by There's like how many previous owners was that?
Yeah, I know, but we should have a legacy ticket. Maybe I'll look into that.
That doesn't exist.
I'm going to look into that.
Okay, go ahead.
Because we played it,
and then you can go.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not going to go.
That's true. That's the thing. But the thing is that they are playing. It's either they're playing that or they're playing Pitchfork, right? Because Lollapalooza is over. They're playing in Chicago. Or they're playing something in Chicago.
Yeah, I think they're
playing a festival in
Chicago.
I don't want to go to a festival with people who are going to festivals now, especially at this one. Like I don't want to.
You don't want to be around young people.
I don't want want to go see somebody wearing an Indian headdress.
I'll just say it. I mean, festivals suck. I hate festivals.
But when we played Lollapalooza, it was kind of fun. It was kind of fun.
Because we were playing it and we didn't have to.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been to. I've
walk around.
We went to one festival, didn't we? Who did we go see? Because we went to Lollapalooza because somebody was playing on it. Who was it? It was somebody we knew.
Yeah, boy, I don't remember. I do remember seeing Korn though. It was the Korn year.
Maybe we went to see. Maybe it
was it Limp Bizkit? It was one of those flappy, like talking about bass sounds. You know, the opposite of jaw wobble bass sound bands, where it's like that flappy. Not even that.
Yeah.
That's Primus. Not even that. I'm talking about clacky, 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 clacky.
Well, so I waited on the website, and I clicked on it. I think I was a little bit late because I was talking to a student, and it was like a really sweet student that I wanted to keep talking to. And I'm like, oh, I got to buy this. I have to go on. I have to buy a ticket to a concert instead of talking to you because it's happening right now. And when I clicked, it said I was 11,382nd ticket, like in line to buy tickets for the Salt Shed. And I know that the Salt Shed does not hold 11,000 people.
Yeah.
And then also one of the tabs said, make sure you don't have another tab open because then, we're going to think you're a bot. And I was like, ooh, I better not. I'm shut out of the other tab. And then the thing started going down, and then it said I was 8,000th in line. And I know the Salt Shed doesn't hold that many people either. That's huge, right? And then it went down to 2,000, and then it was 300. I was like, and then it was like 10, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, the tickets are sold out. You can buy tickets again on May 1st. So then I got really mad, and I called Seth Fine. I send a message to record store owners that I know, and I was like, what the fuck? Why am I in line for 11,000? Why do I have to stand in line? What is this?
I love that this you're kind of like describing an experience that
everybody has.
It's like I drove my car up to McDonald's, and then there's this corridor, and then there's this wall, and you talk into it, and
like a savage.
And then somebody talks back to you, and then you drive up to a window.
That was the funniest thing.
It's like,
and then I think I texted our son, and he's like, "Yeah, that happened to me. You can't get tickets to them." And then I was like, well, why do I like them then if I can't get tickets to them? Why do I like a band that I can't get tickets to?
This is what was interesting. So with the Talking Heads thing, not to go back to
I want to know
of the best moments of my life, but what was interesting is that they were already booked into the big place, right?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember where they had played the last time. And they might have played a big place, but it was before the record. I feel like it was before the record came out, but it was like already, like everything was in place. Like it kind of felt like they already knew that the record was going to hit, or at least they had laid out the tour and everything, the size of the tour, and yeah, where it was like, okay, this is which was interesting to me because I mean, Burning Down the House was a quirky record. I mean, somewhat, but I guess this obvious hit, in retrospect, but anyways.
Wait, okay. Or
so
Dan
with Geese.
The
problem with Geese is that they're kind of
they're going up.
Yeah,
they've already gone to the tier where.
So it was like what they played Thalia Hall last time, like in October.
God.
And it was like it sold out, but it was like it sold out. I don't think it sold out immediately. So it was like but it wound up being undersized. Like they kind of were on an upswing. They were beyond Thalia Hall size places. So they're kind of got this problem.
Yeah, and it's like Seth, that's what Seth is trying to tell me too. Yeah. Like, so Dannon says most of us.
Listen, Grandma.
Most
you're
of
not
us
be able to see your band.
He's a grandpa also. So most of us suffer this pain several times a month. Yeah,
exactly,
I know. All right, so listen. So
last time it happened to me, I'm so pissed off. It was Taskmaster, like the live Taskmaster show in Chicago, because that kind of stuff, like that, I'm good at
Who likes that? Yeah.
getting like things that are going to sell out but are kind of like smaller scale, right? I can get, I'm usually good at getting. I'm trying to think of what recently I've
Yeah,
gotten.
I'm trying to think too.
But yeah, like the Taskmaster thing, it was like, yeah, there. How many? I mean, they're. It's kind of popular, but it's like, how many people are going to want tickets to this English cult TV show? And it was like apparently a lot, and it happened all the way across the country, or the number of shows
People
they
just,
played.
yeah, more people like it. Yeah,
They
yeah.
they basically, and it was also it's not like they were it's not like they're doing a tour where like Geese just added a second show, right?
So you
Salt
can't
Shed.
see that now. You could see it like yesterday that they
so
were.
it's already sold out.
Wow. So no, the first show now, yeah, the public tickets went on sale, and now when I click on it, it says verified resale ticket, 186, 100. That's like in my Ticketmaster, I think. Like I'm clicking
Your
on
Ticketron account.
I'm in Ticketmaster, and I can click and I can buy $180. What is it called? Verified resale ticket. So what is that?
That's
a scalper?
No, it's yes, but it's official scalping, right?
What the fuck is that?
Welcome to I don't know what 2000.
So whatever asshole, whatever the 11,000 asshole, one of the 11,000 assholes got in and bought tickets and doesn't even fucking care about the Geese, and now I'm gonna buy a ticket, and then.
But so what was even worse is for a while, the companies were buying those tickets themselves and then recycling them through the reseller.
Oh, why aren't they doing? Why that should be what
because
they're doing.
I believe there was an antitrust
lawsuit.
Oh,
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Right? Did Bruce Springsteen complain about that? I can't remember who originally complained about it. But the resale. But then supposedly they've got restrictions in place to prevent it being, just basically like scalpers, right?
And then there's
like
no
buying bulk tickets,
yeah.
and then that's why, for instance, you can't have multiple windows open, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're waiting in line,
I
digital
can have
line,
multiple. Whatever.
So that's why. Yeah.
But
so in theory, those resale tickets are not scalpers.
Great, but I don't see it like verified resale.
It's somebody who bought 8.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, and then doesn't
What was
need
that
8.
the limit?
I don't remember what the limit was.
It probably wasn't 8.
Fucking. So I was in the car this morning with our child, who I'm going to go to the show with, and I was like, well, here's the plan. I'll try to get tickets today, but if I don't get tickets today, maybe we'll go on Sunday anyway. Like maybe I think they're going to add another show. They have to add another show if they've sold out all this stuff, but they're not going to tell us again about it. And you know what our child says to me?
What?
Do you know what the names of the people in the band are, other than Cameron Winter? That's what he says to me. Do you know what the bass player's name is?
You're not a real fan? Is that what he was saying to you?
Yeah. It was like, fuck. I don't even know who the names of the band members of the Who are. I don't know that. I don't even know who the band members are in the Beatles. And then I was like, oh, I guess I do know their names, So then I had to look up.
You have a hard time remembering members of Poster Children.
That's true. Joshua Vaughn says it may not be a scalper. It may just be a regular person that bought the ticket for profit and can't go anymore. Or just can't go anymore.
Yeah.
Then don't stand in line with 11,000 people and buy a fucking ticket.
Well, that's the other thing, too, is like you might, let's say there's a scenario where you get in and it's like, oh, you buy 4 tickets, and then it's like,
oh, that's true. Yeah.
And then you.
I better buy 4 tickets.
All your friends, and nobody's like, oh, no, I can't.
I don't want to pay $150 for a ticket.
I'll take your ticket, though.
Yeah.
For free. I'll take it off your hands.
Well, we're going to have to go to a festival, and
we might go to the Iowa one. At least it's smaller.
Yeah.
Right?
I definitely want to do that.
And it's not in a city.
And then you know what? The more I think about it, so also I've had Cameron Winter songs going through my head the way I had Pixies songs going through my head.
Oh, man, we didn't even talk about the PSYOP article. It's already that whole cycle.
We are part of the PSYOP because we're talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. That was the thing, is the whole cycle about the, what is it called? Chaotic Good, the PR firm that did Geese, and then they also did, what's his name? The guitar player that I had no idea about, but like McGee. McGee is this guitar player, but there was a whole thing about how he uses a Tascam Porta-Studio as his distortion unit for his guitar, and like JHS Pedals even made a guitar pedal with the what is it? The circuitry, so you could get that sound. And then it's like finding out that this chaotic good PR company, promoted him. Wet Leg also, Chaise Lounge.
Yeah.
It was like, all these cool indie kind of bands are running through this promo. But the promo company, they did an interview and they talked about how they do. What did they call it? They didn't call it click farming. It was. They called it something building, right? Not fan building, but it's like basically like they would basically generate momentum on like Instagram Reels, TikTok, whatever. They basically farm out. They have all these fake accounts where they would post videos with the artist's songs on them, and they don't have to be videos that are the artists playing, right? It could be like somebody,
washing dishes,
skateboarding, and then falling off and racking themselves on a railing, right? And then they put the Geese song on it, and they just have tens of thousands of Instagram accounts pumping out these reels, and then they you'd be able to get them, at least some amount of them, to hit and start going viral. So they're basically creating an audience. Did they call it audience building? They had a great name for it. Anyways, they did an interview talking all about it, and people got freaked out, and then the interview got pulled, and then they're like, oh no. But then then the whole thing was like, some people are saying it doesn't really work, and then it was like, well, the Wired article was like, Geese's promo was a psyop, like it was all programmed, right? But then the counter argument was the Geese psyop was a psyop, which is kind of true, which was like, the PR firm was starting to promote themselves, right? And saying, we've got this magic formula for, creating meme farms or whatever for bands. And that it was basically them promoting themselves, right? To get more clients, right? Say we're evil geniuses who have this formula, but it probably doesn't work, or it's not going to work anymore because everybody knows now.
Yeah, but we were really excited to see them on Saturday Night Live too. And then they played, like the one where he screams, "There's a bomb in my car," like the first song on the record, I think is that, which is called Trinidad, right? I think I can't see. I don't know. I'm not a real fan. I probably don't deserve the tickets, but I'd rather see Cameron Winter live anyway. But I don't. I love those songs. Josh says I've gotten screwed buying tickets early too. So yeah. But so I can't remember what I was going to say.
We're at like an hour 15 here.
Sorry. I mean the songs are really good though. And then I was talking to a friend of mine in Washington D.C. who's in a punk rock band who said that they saw them at Coachella. And because they were there for free, and it was like people, all rock royalty, were just talking to each other and stuff, so they couldn't pay total attention. But they said that they were playing the fuck out of their instruments. Like the fuck out of their songs.
Yeah, like when they were on Saturday Night Live. And I think we talked about this when they were on Saturday Night Live, but it's like there was like a reaction, worst band ever on Saturday Night Live, worst musical artist. And it was just like, no. And it was like they weren't even like it was like watching an indie rock band, like watching a real band, and whether or not they're real or they're nepo baby. I mean, they're
nepo babies, and they're music students too, right? They're like Dow says that they went to a music school,
Berkeley College of Music.
Yeah. I mean, and
no, they were in the high school in New York. Yeah.
So and they turned out not to be Primus. I mean, that's wonderful.
Yeah, and it's also a cycle. I mean, it's a reaction to, the sort of what's been frustrating to me is kind of like the indie rock sound that's gotten so like what's that band? What's the band that's supposedly Dreamscape? What are they called? Tailwind. Tinkerbell. It's like it's a Philadelphia band, and they're kind of punk, and they kind of sound a little bit like what the hell is that band from the 80s with Perry Farrell in it?
Oh, Jane's Addiction.
Jane's Addiction. Anyways, it's like it's got elements of, it superficially sounds punk, but it's like, oh, the auto tuning on the vocals and the clarity and the kind of purity and the highly produced sound, where it's like gotten so extreme, the kind of pop production.
Yeah.
And it's like, I hate it.
And you're saying Geese does not sound
and
like
so
that.
It's the loop.
It's
the turnaround. Yeah, there's the reactions happening. And so our kid, talks about how they're authentic, and it's like, oh, you can hear tape hiss on the on this song, right? You can hear in the background, the tape hit, and it's like, oh yeah. So finally things are looping around. And so whether or not they're real or good, I mean, yeah.
I don't know. The voice on this man, though, like his voice is so ridiculous.
But that's the thing is, we've talked
it.
about this though, where I'm just like listing, like whenever listening and
like
driving
this.
my kid crazy, where it's like, oh, this
yeah.
one's Van Morrison. Oh, this one's this sounds like Exile on Main Street. This is
but
who else? Oh, you need to listen to. Not Nick Drake. I think I'd already said Nick Drake for some other reason, but it's like I'm just going through like a laundry list of 70s. I thought, oh, this almost actually kind of sounds like Al Green. It's like but that's the thing is he's doing the more kind of singer songwritery or and oh, this guy, he's definitely listened to Scott Walker and also probably Nick Cave, right? And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, it's like Nick Cave's cool, but like he also moved away from the more punk stuff and moved to the, this is somebody who's listened to Leonard Cohen, Van Morrison, and who was the other person I said?
You've said a lot of people. Nick Cave?
No, Nick.
No, you said,
Anyways.
Yeah. Well, so have you listened to the song Nina and Nina plus Field of Cops?
Probably.
There are like a million lyrics in it. It just goes on and on and on. And it's like the lyrics are gorgeous. They're like they're so incoherent, but also kind of coherent. Like kind of you're a good lyric writer too. But this is like
But this is like poetry.
No, it really is. It's just incoherent. Like you can go through it and try to figure out exactly what he's saying. Just kind of the same way you can do with yours too. Just like kind of it's kind of like you took the picture and then you took some of the things out of it, like some of the colors out of it or something. So you can figure out what the picture is by adding your own experience in it, and then you find out that, it's about John, David Hasselhoff, or this one is about Nina Simone, but it's not really, because you can read, you can just read all the sentences and go, wow, I felt that too, and stuff like that.
That reminds me, I gotta get this book. The guy who plays, mandolin guitar, from the Dirty Three, who's in, what's his name? who's been Nick Cave's kind of co-writer for a long time. He wrote a book on a piece of Nina Simone's gum. So he saw Nina Simone play a concert. She was out of her mind, but she came on stage and took a wad of bubble gum out of her mouth and stuck it underneath the piano and then played. And then at the end of the show, he ran up on stage and grabbed the gum. Wow. Yeah, Warren Ellis. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. grabbed that gum and has that gum. And I think he wrote a whole book about it. Yeah. I need to read the Nina Simone gum book.
When did it come out? I mean,
just a while ago.
Yeah.
But the concert was it was when he was young.
Yeah. Okay.
So this would have been, and Nina Simone's been dead for quite a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Man. I'm like, I was trying to figure out, like, how do you even think about lyrics like that? Like, how much of it is about Nina Simone and like how much is just not.
And I remember, I think it was when I got my wisdom teeth out and I was staying at your parents' house. And this was like when I was 40. This is not like when I was a kid. I got my half of my wisdom teeth out when I was 40. But yeah, your dad came home and I was on the couch watching a Nina Simone concert, and your dad was like, "Oh, he did not like Nina Simone, Jazzbo, right? But he didn't.
Yeah.
She can't sing."
Yeah.
I'm like, well, she can't sing in a really amazing way. It's like, but yeah, it was interesting. It's like, oh, that was like the boundary for your dad was, Nina Simone's vocals. It's just like, oh, because she's a great piano player too, though. That's the thing. That's like, but he was like, ugh. I just remember
good to
that.
know.
Oh, it's funny though. But yeah, you listen to Nina Simone. It's her vocal style is interesting.
Well, yeah, Mississippi. We listened to Mississippi Goddamn.
Oh yeah. No. It's yeah. I'm sure he was familiar with her work, but
Well, I'll just say.
Also, it is kind of the jazz. But your dad liked the trumpet player.
Yeah, my dad my dad was not an avant-garde type person.
But I was saying like, oh, when like jazz singers or jazz musicians sing, and it's not.
Yeah.
But they're not jazz singers, right? So they're not Ella Fitzgerald. They're somebody who plays the trumpet and then sings Charlie. What's his name?
I don't know.
Can't remember anybody.
Yeah, and I probably
Peanut
wouldn't.
Gallery. Let's get lost.
Let me.
I've got the record somewhere.
Then we should listen to that.
Yeah, but I can't remember his name.
If you haven't listened to any of this stuff and you're curious, I'm going to go back and listen to Nina plus Field of Cops, and because let me read to you from this. Nina knows the reason, and she's seen into the mouth of what it is to be a mountain. She's seen all the good pigeon-like people shot down and bones be kicked to powder by the insane wild horses. And our child can sing that too. Nina isn't listening, and she's seen into the mouth of what is really in the fountain, and she's seen all the good pigeon-like people shot down and bones be kicked to powder by the insane wild horses. How do you write stuff like that? How do you write your lyrics even?
I'm looking it up, and apparently the Nina Simone gum is from a 1999 performance, so it wasn't that long ago.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Anyway,
it's less exciting.
Nina
but
Simone.
I'm still going to read it.
I need to know more about Nina, I guess. So, all right, thanks for listening.
Listening to this strange meandering. I think this one was a little more crazy.
No,
even
it was.
crazier than
I enjoyed listening to you, Chet Baker.
Chet Baker, thanks.
Thanks,
Charles,
Dan and
Charlie Baker.
Wait, if my dad wouldn't like.
No,
my
your dad liked.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Is he liked Chet Baker?
Yeah. All right. Well, names are donuts on the sea.